Adrian and Owen, good morning.
Massive weekend ahead, but just brief reflections on yesterday before we begin. Super Sunday.
Great win for Robbie Power, Jessica Harrington. Horse, as Robbie I think said on the television, doesn't get the credit he deserves. He beat Bouvardera, champion hurdle winner. Melon fell. Faheen has a regular heartbeat. Whether we'll see Faheen again on a race course, we don't know.
What do you think?
I'm not so sure, but he's had a brilliant career, and he's one of these horses I think the people have taken to. But Super Sunday, just like he won the Leopardstown champion hurdle and the Punchestown one last year, and now he's won the Aintree hurdle Grade 1 races, and a great bounce back because he didn't really run that well at Cheltenham, but he showed a lot of resolution up the straight to win yesterday, and Top Wood was another very good winner of the Aintree Fox Hunters. But look, it's just all about advertisers. Like that was the pate or the scallops, and today we'll have maybe another kind of nice appetizer, but it's all about the big fillet steak tomorrow.
I was going to say club sandwich, but it's even better than that.
How did you go yesterday?
Well, I gave 3 tips on the show. One was a non-runner, one was placed at 25-1. Road to Riches, and then one was second, and that was second. So I'm happy with that. I can come in here and puff my chest out.
Good. Well, we'll be holding you to that Monday, obviously, you know that. We'll talk very briefly about today before we get into tomorrow. I don't know if we've time for that, or do you want to just...
I think we'll just get to the race.
The Grand National.
Yeah,
so,
because I just spent, I was like, I don't know, Scrooge with the candlelight and the feather pen last night, and...
people like myself, Johnny come lately's into this thing and jump on the bandwagon when Cheltenham's around, and obviously the Grand National stuff like that. The main story here, Tiger Roll, defending champion, 7-2, which seems as extremely short odds for this sort of a race. Obviously a winner last month at Cheltenham. Davy Russell on board. We heard Patrick Mullins there talk about the blinkers. Is it all about Tiger Roll?
No, it's not, but he is a huge part of the story. Hasn't been since 1974 that when Red Rum won the Grand National for the second year in a row that it has been achieved. And that just shows how I don't really like this idea that the race is a lottery. I don't believe in that. I think that you do need certain attributes to win a Grand National. You need to jump well, you need to have the stamina to stay 4 miles and 2 furlongs. Generally you need a decent weight, you need a good jockey, you need to be able to handle the conditions, the going, whatever the going is. But Tiger Roll, it's funny because he's not the typical type of horse you think that would win a Grand National, a big, huge built chaser. He's quite a nimble horse, but he's a clever horse. He's clever at his fences. He's just he had the speed to win a Triumph hurdle as a juvenile over 2 miles at Cheltenham. He's won 4 times at the Cheltenham Festival, twice over the cross-country fences, also winning a 4-mile chase, and then he won the race by a head last year over Pleasant Company. So he is a horse that, he's only 9. I just think he's a fascinating horse, and he was better than ever this season, and he really is the one to beat. But at the prices, you can't be having him at the prices. Like, it is crazy. Yeah. It is crazy prices, as the supermarket chain used to say. It's just madness. That generally in the Grand National, you'd be getting 7 to 1 the field. Look, he's got a massive chance, but he's got 11 stone 5 on soft ground. I can't be having him at the prices. Would I be surprised if he won? No. But would I be surprised if somebody beat him? No.
Will it be one of Gordon Elliott's many runners?
It could be. Like, General Principle won the Irish Grand National last year. He's got a low weight and he loved the ground, and he stays 20 miles, that horse, General Principle. And watching the races yesterday, watching the Fox Hunters, you need a bit of stamina. The rain's getting into that ground now. It's probably going to dry out a little bit, but not enough, I don't think, to change the conditions from being a little bit testy and a little bit stamina laden. I think the other story, really, from an Irish perspective, Adrian and Owen, is Ruby Walsh. He's 40 next month. He's won the race twice. How many more chances does he have in the Grand National? I'm not so sure. But he's on a horse with a massive chance, Rathvinden. Bit of money from this morning into 9 to 1. Trained by William Mullins, had the Gold Cup winner. The horse won a 4-mile chase at Cheltenham last year, so he gets the trip, we know that. He's got a bit of class. He ran very well and won, I think it was at Punchestown the last day, so he's got a bit of class to have the speed to be able to travel well early in the race. Sometimes he can be a little bit in and out with his jumping, but if Ruby, who's a dab hand of this, gets him into a quiet rhythm, I think, this horse Rathvinden, we know he stays the trip, has got a big chance for Willie Mullins. It's about 10-11 to 1 shot Rathvinden. So that's the other kind of Irish story that kind of springs out for me.
You've just hinted at it there, but do you think Ruby your sense is that maybe the finish line is in sight sometimes?
I would suggest it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Right.
I'm not trying to...
He could keep going for another 5, 6, 7 years.
He could, but I just think injuries take their toll in the jumps racing, and I think we saw with Tony McCoy, eventually it just happened that, you have to call it a day, and you know, he hasn't been riding over fences that much this season. And then he came out yesterday and rode a brilliant race on Kenboy to win that, you know, Betway Bowl for William Mullins. And Ruby, when he rides chasers, you know, he kind of sits very quietly and preserves their petrol or their stamina. And I think that he will try and ride a quiet race on Rathvinden and keep him out of trouble. Because, like, we're talking about what? We're talking about the race that is one of the most famous in the world. It's like 40 runners, it's 30 fences. You got some famous fences like the Chair, like Beecher's Brook. The fences are not as punishing as they used to be because of welfare issues, but they still take jumping. And you get trouble in running, you get horses brought down, you have horses carried out. I remember Tony McCoy on, I think it was Clan Royal a few years ago, was just like carried out, and then in 2001 nearly half the field were taken out in heavy ground, and there was only 2 finishers. So it's a race that does create drama, create stories. It's got great stories back to Red Rum, Alden Eatey, Papillon for Ted Walsh, Ruby Walsh. That was that kind of Ruby Walsh kind of burst onto the scene with that. Bobby Joe for Paul Carberry and his father as well. So I think it's a great race, the Grand National, and I think that it was one of those races when I was small, when I was young, because I was into racing through my father and that, I would actually get nervous a few minutes before the start of the race because I thought this is such a big deal. And Peter Sullivan was one of the best commentators we've ever seen in sport, was able to capture the magnitude of what this great race is. And look, you know, if you're looking to have the winner, savour it, because it's not often you do pick the winner of the Grand National, whether through a sweepstake or through your own judgment.
Where's your money going?
Lakeview Lad. Lakeview Lad. Okay. Did you hear that? That horse is about 14-1, solid in the market. This is an improving horse. You've got to jump well in the Grand National. Whether you're lucky or unlucky in running with horses running in front of you. This horse is a very good jumper. He will stay the trip. I'm no doubt about that. He was third, staying on well under top weight at Cheltenham in a handicap chase at the festival. He's won 2 big chases at Newcastle and Wetherby this season. 11 stone 1 is, I think, a fair enough weight. I think Lakeview Lad, don't know if he'll win, but I definitely think he's got a big chance of making the frame. There's a really good thing if anybody wants to watch. It's on YouTube. Channel 4 did a couple of years ago. The jockey cam of the Grand National. Many Clouds won it with Leighton Aspel a couple of years ago. I think it was 15 or 16. And I think it was 16. And no, it was 15. Sorry, I'm digressing. You're actually running the race as the jockey. So this is the guy who actually won the Grand National. So you see, and it kind of cuts to him early on, jumping the first few fences on the inside. And what you see on the TV screen does not look like the way he's, riding it, because first of all, you don't really hear anything when you're watching TV. You're hearing the commentary, you're hearing the cameras on the fences. It's very quiet, it's very silent, and you're seeing horses in front of him like falling, slithering down to the ground, and then you see him in front, and he doesn't know what's behind him. And it's fascinating, and he might take a peek or whatever, but then you see him getting to grips with the horse, rousting the horse down the famous elbow at Aintree, and it's you can even feel the jockey knowing that he's about to win the Grand National, and then he crosses the line and then he wins it.
Fantastic spectacle.
It is a fantastic spectacle.
Just hope that everybody gets around it safely. Obviously,
well, that's it. We don't want any casualties, any fatalities. Sometimes they're an inevitable part of the game. But what I would say is that everybody who is involved in racing cares about the horses, so much. So everybody will be wanting the horses and the jockeys to come home safe and sound. If you're going to have a bet, shop around, look for the good each way value, and look for the good prices. I always think Oddschecker is a good comparison website.
And look for Lakeview Lad.
And look for Lakeview Lad. You just heard it here now. I won't be coming back if he doesn't win. But look, this horse.
It'll be Monday, John. We've all
forgotten. We'll be all looking ahead to the Masters then. So.
And is that like how you walk into the bookies with the hands up, Lakeview Lad, and they're like, no problem, John?
No, with this new world, I generally tend to look online now, and I'd be generally betting online. But it's a long time since I've actually gone to a bookies and put cash actually over the counter.
It's a great feeling.
It is. It's a great feeling collecting it. It's a great feeling collecting a cheque from a bookmakers, I have to say.
Because the sum is so huge.
Yeah. It happened to me, about 16 years ago. Yeah.
Don't mean to brag or anything, but
no. But we were talking about it, so
you throw the odd. Obviously, Cheltenham, you did a bit of sort of over the counter betting, did you?
We did all these jokes yesterday, Adrian.
Are you gonna have a bet tomorrow?
Well, you know, the enthusiasm with which you shouted Lakeview Lad means that I'll probably have a bet tomorrow.
Each way, it's got to be each way.
For the benefit of the people who weren't tuned in yesterday, what were the jokes yesterday about the...
Just haven't eaten in a month, can't afford
Didn't
rent.
listen to me, effectively.
No,
Didn't listen to me.
From what I understand, this didn't actually happen on. So, like, do you want to sort of... You wrote something down on a slip, handed it over the bookies, but you'd sweaty palms or something, and you... What happened?
Oh, sorry, I got told off at the bookies during Cheltenham, John.
You got told off.
Yeah, the lady behind the counter shouted at me.
Why?
Because I walked up with a bet slip and it was like whatever horse it was, each way at whatever 12 to 1, and then I put in total stake €10, and she was like, "Is that €10 each way, or is it? You mean €5 each way? €10 total stake?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, obviously it's €10 total stake." And she was like, "You have to write that on the slip." She shouted at me, and I was like, "I'm never coming back here."
Okay.
So I went to different bookies every other day.
Okay. I just see you looking behind you. Like, you know,
Never been more intimidated in my life.
Okay, right, okay. Well, you need to back Lakeview Lad each way. That's a win and a place bet. So 5 each way, make it 10.
Good stuff,
Thank you
John.
for that.
Thanks,
Okay.
William.
I've never been mansplained to before, but it's just happened.
Thanks, William. John, enjoy
All
the
right, guys.
weekend. On whatever you're up to. We didn't quite manage to get out earlier on for the weekend.
I'll watch the Grand National, and then after Lakeview Lad wins, I'll watch it again and again and again.
And will you be in on Monday? You're coming in this Monday, are you?
Yeah, why?
No, just
Next
you took
Monday.
last Monday off because you thought Kerry were going to win the league, and then
No, I literally
you
said
sort of
Kerry were
dragged
going to win the league
yourselves.
this day last
No,
week.
I know you said that outwardly, but everybody understood that you meant something else.
Are you calling me a liar?
You tickled the belly. That was what we said earlier on. You tickled the little Mayo belly, and we're
They
like,
tickled their
that's
own
what
belly
it
all
meant.
week.
Oh, now we're getting to the truth of it. Too much tickling?
I don't know. It depends. Are they still
You're-
bleary-eyed this morning?
you're
If
saying
so,
too
then
much
yes, way
tickling.
too much
You're saying way
tickling.
too
I'm
much.
sure they were bleary-eyed Tuesday morning. Then after that, it was back to the hard work. But congratulations to them. You know, greatest day since '51.
He doesn't mean a word of it. Thanks, William. Cheers, John. Thanks a lot.